you people?
Is Pluribus falling into Breaking Bad's biggest early mistake? There's no denying the excitement surrounding Pluribus, the new Apple TV sci-fi series created by Vince Gilligan. With Gilligan's legacy tied so closely to Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, expectations are exceptionally high. And while the premise is very different from his crime sagas, Gilligan's signature tension, character-driven storytelling, and philosophical undertones are still unmistakable. Yet, despite widespread praise, one critique hangs in the air, a critique once directed at early Breaking Bad episodes. Some viewers are asking whether Pluribus is falling into the same perceived trap, the slow start. But does this critique hold up? And more importantly, is Pluribus even aiming for the same kind of experience?
Oh, that's the one! Oh, love you, thank you so much!
The setup, Pluribus, Who, What, and Why. Pluribus on Carol Sturka, played by Rhea Seehorn, an author of swoony romantasy novels who's decidedly not swoony about her own life. Carol lives in Albuquerque and believes her existence has been ruined by a bizarre genetic mutation of alien origin. She's one of only 13 people on Earth immune to a mysterious virus that links everyone else's minds into a global hive consciousness. The pilot episode wastes no time building tension. Carol frantically tries to help her partner Helen after a sudden seizure. Soon, she realizes the entire town is collapsing. Just as suddenly, everyone rises again, now eerily unified and equipped with intimate knowledge about Carol they shouldn't have. It's gripping, unsettling, and intense. But after this explosive premiere, Pluribus deliberately hits the brakes. A sudden slow burn, intentional or problematic. Following the eventful pilot, Pluribus noticeably shifts into a slower rhythm. Episode 2, Pirate Lady, devotes most of its runtime to a lengthy conversation between Carol and the 5 other English-speaking immune individuals. Episode 3, Grenade, lingers on a stylized montage of the hive-minded pod people casually restocking Carol's grocery store shelves. The tagline, "We just want to help, Carol," initially spine-tingling in the pilot, becomes sincere in a way that deflates the threat rather than builds it. The pod people aren't tricking her. They're not menacing. They're exactly what they claim to be: helpful, peaceful, nonviolent, almost impossibly earnest. This tonal pivot creates a different kind of tension, the philosophical sort. While the action slows, the world widens, and the rules of this new reality begin to clarify. Carol's meeting on Air Force One further highlights these shifts. She realizes she hasn't asked the pod people anything about their experiences. She's been reacting, not inquiring. That changes in Grenade, which uncovers a deeper, stranger layer of the pod people's existence.
What's the matter, Schrader? You act like you never saw a severed human head on a tortoise before!
Breaking Bad's infamous slow start, myth or misinterpretation. The comparison to Breaking Bad is inevitable. Gilligan's name practically invites it. But the common critique that Breaking Bad started slow is worth revisiting. Yes, Breaking Bad's later seasons escalated into operatic levels of violence, betrayal, and spectacle, but that does not mean the early seasons were quiet. In fact, the earliest episodes contain some of the most dramatic shifts in Walt's character and personal world. Walt cooking meth for the first time. Jesse attempting his first real effort at sobriety. Walt revealing his cancer to his family. The RV cook with the gas mask disaster. Crazy. 8 chained in the basement. These moments were less about explosions, literal or metaphorical, and more about irreversible transformation. They set the moral and psychological foundation for the chaos that would come later. In short, Breaking Bad wasn't slow. It was deliberate. And Pluribus appears to be following that same philosophy, though in a different direction and at a different intensity.
What is it? Tasha, tell me what
Pluribus isn't an action show, and it's not trying to be. The challenge comes when audiences expect Pluribus to explode the way Breaking Bad eventually did. But Pluribus belongs to a different genre family. Its tension is conceptual, not kinetic. It has more in common with Severance or Black Mirror than with The Last of Us. The stakes in Pluribus aren't built on gunfights, car chases, or villainous schemes. They're rooted in what this hive mind phenomenon means for Carol, for society, and for the nature of free will. Once viewers realize the pod people truly are peaceful, the focus shifts. The enemy isn't the hive mind, it's Carol's worldview, her fear, her disbelief, her unwillingness to accept a reality that upends everything she knows about agency and personal identity. That's not a setup for action. It's a setup for introspection.
All set, Carol. Call us if there's
Something you want that's not here, we'll get it.
The pod people and the philosophy of self-preservation. Despite their friendliness, the pod people introduce some deeply unsettling revelations. An offhand comment in Pirate Lady reveals that some freed zoo animals, lions, tigers, and other predators, which promptly killed them. They don't fight back. They don't defend themselves. They are described as pacifists, vegetarians, and fundamentally unwilling to harm a living creature, even to save their own lives. This lack of self-preservation is one of the most intriguing twists in the story so far. It forces Carol and the audience to question what it means to be alive, cooperative, or even moral. Episode 3 takes this further, with the infamous grenade scene. Carol sarcastically asks for a grenade. They bring her one. When she pulls the pin, fully assuming it's a joke, Zojia, the pirate lady, throws herself on Carol to protect her, absorbing the majority of the blast and nearly dying in the process. Carol learns a chilling truth. If she wanted a gun, they'd give her one. If she wanted a tank, they'd get it. If she wanted an atom bomb, they'd find a way. It's not that they're dangerous. It's that their obedience is absolute. This revelation is the biggest shift in the series yet, and it doesn't require an explosion to feel like one. The real questions Pluribus wants to ask. At its core, Pluribus poses a radical philosophical question. Is a world without conflict, free will, or personal individuality better, or worse? The pod people present a version of life without loneliness, without war, without secrets, but also without boundaries, privacy, or self-protection. Carol, one of the few with a mind untouched by the virus, becomes a kind of moral compass and a test case. Her discomfort isn't about danger, it's about meaning. What does autonomy mean when everyone else has surrendered theirs? What does identity mean when individuality dissolves? What does consent mean if the hive mind wants only to help, even at the cost of its own life? This is the action of Pluribus, not explosions in the sky, but explosions in thought.
We have a winner.
Is Pluribus falling into a familiar Gilligan trap, or building something new? So is Pluribus repeating Breaking Bad's so-called slow start? Not exactly. Where Breaking Bad used slow burn transformation to prepare audiences for chaos, Pluribus uses its slow burn to tease out ideas. It's not setting up for a descent into darkness, but for a descent into philosophical abstraction. The slow pace isn't a flaw. It's the point. The show isn't about what the pod people do to Carol. It's about what Carol does with a world that has willingly reorganized itself into something she cannot relate to or understand. The tension lies in her resistance to a new form of society that claims to be perfect, but may cost too much to accept.
Carol, if we may.